Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadadaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Sachinandan Gaura Hare Ki Jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Fine, Upadesamrita. So first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev. Om Vishnu Pad Vedanti Swami Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj. Our Rupanuga Guru Varga, our Shiksha Guru Sri Gaur Govind Gosai Maharaj, Sri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Gosai Maharaj, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hare Krishna. So we are discussing Rupa Goswami's essence of all instructions, Upadesamrita. So, the first 3 verses, how to control the 6 vags, the 6 urges of the mind, belly, genitals, tongue, speech, and anger. How to become free from the 6 faults of atyahara, prayasascha, prajalpo, niyamangaraha, jana sangascha, lodam cha sadvidhi bhakti vinashati. Over-collecting, over-endeavoring for mundane things which are difficult to achieve. Topics, prajalpa, unrelated topics. There, give it Hari, tasting the prajalpa. Topics unrelated to the seva of Hari Guru Vaishnav. Niyamagraha, over-endeavoring, over-applying the rules, or under-endeavoring for the rules. Practicing spiritual practices for what we are not suited for, unqualified for. Right? To try to practice something which I am underqualified for, that will be a fault. But also practicing something which you're overqualified for, that will also be a fault. Huh? Jana sangas chalolams cha, greed and materialistic association. These things destroy devotion. Utsahan nischayat dadajat tat tat karma pavatanat sangatyago sato vrati sadvidhi bhakti prasiddhati. Right? Enthusiasm, determination, patience. Performing activities, right? Maintaining oneself in a proper manner, following the footsteps of the previous acharyas. Sato vrati. As sadhu has lived, I should live accordingly. These 6 things increase devotion, nourish devotion. How to develop love for the Vaishnavas, accepting gifts, giving gifts, inquiring, revealing one's mind in confidence, hearing Harikatha, and foodstuffs. Generally, most of us are expert in just accepting foodstuffs, but also giving. These are 6 loving exchanges. So today, especially these loving exchanges should be done with pure Vaishnavas. So who is pure Vaishnava? What are the gradations of Vaishnava? If we don't know, we'll run into trouble. A great Vaishnava you may demean and degrade by thinking he is Kanishta. In the same way, sometimes a Kanishta, you may promote him to the status of Uttamadikari. Then in both situations you will be disturbed, you will commit offense. Also by neglecting, not understanding the position of Madhyamadikari, trouble will come. Actually, if you listen to the lectures of Sri Govinda Maharaj, he would so much emphasize, Gurudev also, no doubt, he emphasized the importance of Madhyamadikari. Srila Maharaj said, the Kanishta, you can remember in Sanskrit, Kanishta means pinky finger. Kanishta. They have both feet in this world. And the Uttamadikari has both feet in the spiritual world. But Madhyamadikari has one foot here, one foot there. So we should know. And most mercy comes from Madhyamadikari. Because Uttamadikari, fully absorbed, how can they instruct us? How can they chastise us? They will not. So Krishneti yasya giri tammana sadhriyeti dikshesti chet pranatibhyascha bhajantam visham susursaya bhajana vigyam ananya ana nindari sunna vidiyapsita sangala. Diksha. Diksha. Divya Gyan. We say Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. Divya Gyan means simply Sambandha Gyan. So Diksha means Diksha. Something is given, Divya Gyan. And Ksha, something is taken away. Kuja Papasa Samskar. Rupa Goswami said, all sin, the four stages of karma, prarabdha, aparabdha, kut and bij, ignorance, all this is taken. So something given and something taken. So Diksha is a process. So Rupa Goswami, like in the Middle Ages, people were very excited to find alchemy. Remember? Alchemy. A magic process by which bell metal becomes gold. I read yogis, perfect yogis, would drink mercury and then urinate on bell metal, it would become gold. Of course, drinking mercury, not recommended. So have to have that quality. So, in simple language, by which the mind and senses of a conditioned soul become eligible for bhakti, that is process of diksha. Thakurji is transcendental. The Vigraha, Thakurji is transcendental. How can I serve him with a body of stool and urine? Cannot. So, like bell metal is very cheap in the market, but gold is expensive. How can I attain the qualification to engage in bhajan, to engage in seva? That is diksha. So what is bhakti? Bhakti is not the britti. It is not the... Bhakti is not an activity of the mind, the material mind and senses. Material mind cannot think of Krishna. Material tongue cannot chant his transcendental name. Material ear cannot hear his katha. Material eyes cannot see him. This is all transcendental. How do I become transcendental? That is process of diksha. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, diksha kore bhakta kore atma samapan se kore bhakta tare kore Krishna sam. At the time of initiation, when the disciple takes initiation and surrenders himself, se kali, from that time, se bhakta, the devotee becomes the same as Krishna. Right? I'll say it again. At the time of diksha, when the disciple fully surrenders, the disciple attains oneness with Krishna, becomes the same as Krishna. It said, Na deva deva macharat. Unless one is a demigod, he cannot understand or serve the demigods. Unless you're the same as Krishna, you cannot serve him. Gurudev would say, unless you're the same as Radhika, you cannot serve her. Radhika's Manjari is the same as her. Priya Surupe, Daita Surupe, Prema Surupe, Sahajana Rupe, Nijanu Rupe, Tadanu Rupe. Rupa Goswami is considered in every way one with the form of Radhika, one with her Prema, every way one. Because same as Radhika can serve. That's why when we take diksha, then they ask, what is your Gotra? We say Achyuta Gotra. Achyuta Gotra. I am the Gotra of Krishna. As Krishna is Gopi, then we also have to become like that. So the material mind and senses cannot reach him. So how the material mind and senses become infused with Sarup Shakti? That is by diksha. The S, like, because bhakti is not the britti of the jiva in one sense. The bhakti is the britti of the Sarup Shakti, Radhika herself. So how that potency comes to me that we will serve Krishna. That Shakti, how it comes, that is by diksha. So bhakti is the essence of the Samvit and Ladini Shakti. That comes to parampara and enters through the ear at the time of initiation. That's why in this temple is quite wonderful standard. Without diksha, actually it's even illegal to wash the floor. Actually, you cannot do any seva without diksha because you have no right. You are not qualified. And Guru gives that right. Guru gives that right. Therefore Gurudev would say, no one takes initiation. Initiation is always given. So, anyway. So, by initiation taking, then this mind, body and senses become tadatmik with Bhakti Devi. Like iron into fire. But you put iron into fire, it does not become red hot immediately. Maybe if it's half in the fire, half out. So diksha is a process. How do I know I have complete diksha? When you see Radha Krishna before you, that's complete diksha. So diksha is a process. So Gurudev said two types of diksha. One is anusthanik diksha. We shave our heads, we bring our pineapple, we give our envelope, we take the mantra, we sit in the yagya, and we take Brahman thread. Pancharatrik diksha, 5 things in Pancharatrik diksha. Name, we get a new name, we get the mantra, we get the tilak, top. Mantra Chintan, we think of the meanings of the mantra, like this. 5 things are there. Now, so this is anusthanik diksha. We go through the process of diksha. We sit in the yagya, we take the mantra. But Gurudev would say, anusthanik diksha is not everything. We want vyavaharik diksha, actual transcendental initiation. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took mantra from Ishwapuri, immediately when he chanted the mantra, he saw the threefold bending form of Krishna before him, then he ran to embrace him like a madman. Then Krishna disappeared, then he wept in separation. This is actual diksha. So Gurudev said the process of diksha, we have entered the school of diksha. How long school takes? Depends. If you're like Purushottam, smoking cigarettes, you have to repeat a few years. It may take many years, may take many lifetimes. Or if we're qualified like Mahaprabhu, like Rupa and Sanatan, then that result is instant. So we'll have to Krishneti Yasya Giritam Manasedhyata, who chants Krishna's name even once. Haribol. Manasadriyata, we can respect them in the mind. But they should be free from the fault of Mayavadi and free from the fault of illicit connection with women. Prem Prayojan? Oh, sorry. Then we respect them as Kanishta Adhikari. These days, not even Kanishta Adhikari, everyone he's suddenly become Mahatma and Jagat Guru. And, oh, glories to Kali Yuga. So who chants Krishna's name but is free from Mayavad and free from bad activities, who following nicely, we can respect them in the mind. But dikshasti chet, who took diksha in a real way. There was Gurudev would always discuss this verse. Then people would ask to Param Gurudev. It seems there's a difference between the explanation of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So whose explanation should we accept? And Param Gurudev gave, listen, we understand everything. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we understand everything through Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So there's one apparent took diksha and one is the actual diksha, with divya gyan, knowledge of their sambandha with Krishna. I am Gop, I am Gopi, what am I? With this knowledge, that is actual diksha. So diksha tichat, one who took actual diksha, means with sambandha gyan. They're chanting with sambandha. To that madhyamadikari I give pranam. Have to bow the head there. And then Uttam Bhagavat, how do I know? Very hard to know. Susrusaya bhajana vigyam ananya anya. Very ananya, they're one-pointed. Ananya. No, bhajanam vigyam, expert in bhajan. How can you tell if someone's expert in bhajan? Means us continuously remembering Krishna's Astakaliya Leela 24 hours a day and doing seva in that Leela. But how can you see that? You cannot see that. How can you see that? Like high-class Vaishnavas sleeping, are they sleeping? We sleep. But they never give up their seva even for a second. No, but that thing you cannot see. No, you cannot see that. So very hard to understand. So Susrusaya Bhajana Vigamananya Nindadi Sunya. They never criticize anyone. Ridam Ipsita Sangha Labdya. We should give our head for their association. We should serve Uttam Vaishnava. So what are the symptoms of the Kanishthadikari? You learn those verses, Nandakumar? The one which describes who is the Kanishthadikari in the Bhagavatam? Indabhushan? Sadhu Maharaj? Shamwala? Can you remember the Sanskrit? Selling mirrors. Huh? Achameva Hariya Puja Yat Sadaya Natad. Forgot, long time and not looked us. They worship the deity with faith, but they have no proper understanding of the position of the Vaishnava. No. They worship the deity with faith. So Kanishta is also great. Who has real faith in the deity? Everyone thinks it's a doll or a toy or a manifestation of Bhagavan, but it's directly Krishna himself. So Kanishta is also quite a high platform, Kanishthadikari. Achameva Hariya Puja Yat. Natad Bhaktasu Chanyasu Mad Bhakta Prakita Smita. Krishna says, Mad Bhakta. The Kanishta is my Bhakta, my devotee, but prakrit, but materialistic. There was a famous story when Srila Sridhar Maharaj first came to the Gaudiya Math. Then I think the deity was downstairs and Prabhupada's room was upstairs. I cannot remember exactly. Then he was taking objection to that because he'd newly come to the Math. Why is it, how could a devotee can be above the deities? So I think it was something like that. Because this was the first, was a rented house, so it wasn't custom built as a temple. Some leeway will be there. Then the devotee explained to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, we give more importance to Bhagavan in the heart of the devotee than Bhagavan in the heart of the deity. Such a nice answer. So ordinary Kanishta cannot understand all these things. Bhagavan is important, but what importance of a Vaishnava? They cannot understand. What importance of Anugatya? No idea. Famous story, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went to South India. In that town was a man who had been run over by a train. His legs were cut off. But even when his legs were cut off, he was chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. We chopped off Purushottam's legs, what would you be chanting? Don't repeat it. So, would you like to meet him? Then Prabhupada said, yes, I'm always happy to meet the Vaishnavas. So this gentleman came, Ram, Ram, Ram. Then Prabhupada immediately asked him, under whose guidance are you serving Ram? Under Hanuman or Bharat, Satrughna, Lakshman, Sita? He said, no, I am directly concerned only with Ram himself. Then Prabhupada said, you have no devotion at all. Astonishing. So anyway, Kanishta, we respect by mind. Madhyamadikari, what are the 4 symptoms? Nandakumar, come on, what are you doing all day in Mayapur? Just like me, huh? Can't remember the verse either. Ishvara tada dineshu balisatudeta natad kripa maiti kripa opeksha yakaroti samadhima. Thank you, brain. Something still alive there under the grey matter. He has prem for the deity. He has mercy, kripa. He has mercy to the juniors or to those with less knowledge, less devotion, the novichoks. He has mercy. He has prem for Bhagavan. He has maitri, friendship to the devotees. And apeksha, he has neglect, the power of neglect. Gurudev said this is very important, we should not hate. My tendency, generally I tend to end up hating people who are against Hari Guru Vaishnava. But Guru Maharaj said we should become so expert in neglect that person doesn't even know they're being neglected. Because one of this, Krishna in 12th canto of Bhagavad Gita, devotee never disturbs anyone or gives disturbance. Is never disturbed or gives disturbance. So we should be so expert in deceiving people they don't even know they're being neglected. How? Guru Maharaj said, don't talk Harikatha to them. Who is envious, who is nonsense. Oh, how are you? How's your dog? How's your business? How's your wife and children? Nice weather today. This means neglect. Neglect. Sometimes also Vaishnavas, instead of speaking katha to us, they speak all type of other topics. That means they are neglecting us also. This person have no real ruchi in katha. Why I speak katha? Neglect. They deceive us by speaking material topics to us also. So we should have friendship, especially in the temple. When I first came to the temple, I remember Gurudev, then I was the first Westerner to live in Kesavji Gauriman. And Gurudev, the first thing he said, make friendship with everyone here, otherwise you will never be able to stay. I remember. Such a great instruction. Many people come and go because they end up fighting with everyone. No, but make friendship with everyone here. So I do try to do that. Very important instruction. So Madhyamadikari, very important. So they understand their sarup, they understand their sambandha, but still some obstacles are there. Still some obstacles are there. They're not like the Siddha, the Uttamadikari who have no obstacles. They put their feet on all obstacles. So there's a difference in bhajan, a big difference between Madhyam and Uttamadikari also. But actually, Indubhushan said a great thing. I was a little shocked last night to hear that. Gurudev said the top of the mountain is ruchi. When I heard that, I was quite astonished. And I've heard that explanation like the rocket ship. It's thousands of liters of fuel is burning and smoke's going everywhere, but it's hardly even moving, right, in the beginning. So Gurudev would say, actually I don't think it was Gurudev, but I've heard, we're using so much energy but not moving because so much gravitational pull, so much these material attractions dragging us down. But once you get a little free from the gravity, then... So, same thing I heard from Indubhushan yesterday. So, That's why it is important to hear other people's katha, not just your own. No. Anyway, don't worry. But Gurudev one time said to a certain individual, I won't mention his name, Damodar Maharaj. He said, don't neglect hearing katha of other people. Because no one has heard all Gurudev's katha. No one. No one can say that. I've heard everything. Impossible. No, so everyone has picked up some jewels that you missed. And so by hearing katha you get, now I got a new, Gurudev said the top of the mountain is Ruchi. Once you reach there, it's very easy. So Madhyamadikari, too much important. We should make friendship. There should be no enmity between people in the temple. No hatred should be there. And Uttamadikari, of course, they have no obstacles. No, like Maharaj often says about Didi, disease, fever, no obstacle. We're like, oh, right? Little headache, little fever. Wear the Malagon, who cares? Finished everything. So even obstacles are there, but cross all obstacles. So, Bhajanan Vigyan, expert in bhajan, expert. They can answer any question. That is one good symptom. Like Gurudev. Sometimes people ask questions, where he gets these answers. Maharaj also have that Shakti. I remember one time Gurudev came in here, and Gurudev was like a little angry mood. Like, Gurudev was often quite angry. Didi says, all photos you see is always a little bit angry. Then Gurudev was in some mood, he came in and I was there. Then he said, hey, where you get so much money from anyway? Then Maharaj just smiled, Lakshmi dances here in Vrindavan. And for the life of me, I can't remember the other one. Where you get so much money? It was like 3 heavy accusations and Maharaj just chong, 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 like that. And Gurudev was like, oh. But when he said that, Lakshmi dances here in Vrindavan, Maharaj, then Gurudev just couldn't answer and they just went away, But I remember like this, ordinary person just crumble and go to pieces, but so this is their symptom, Sarva samsaya samcheta, can destroy all doubt. Can destroy all doubt. Expert in bhajan, direct perception of Krishna. Therefore, no. They always know what to, like Gautam Maharaj would give class and he would say, today Bhaktivinoda Thakur was speaking through me. They have that type of channeling. The whole Guru Parampara speaks through them. So we should always bow our heads there. So Gurudev said we should not think, I took diksha from somewhere else, how can I give my head to such a Shiksha Guru? That is a big problem. Gautam Maharaj said, the problem with all my God brothers, none of them understand the importance of Shiksha Guru. I have my Diksha Guru. Why I need anyone else? No, many also same disease now in Gurudev's Sangha. I have Narayan Maharaj. Really? Gurudev would often say that many people would come to Param Gurudev and they would talk about Prabhupada and Param Gurudev would tell them. Actually Saraswati Thakur would say, you never saw him. Someone was talking about, I took initiation from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, or I this, I that. Then Prabhupada said, but you never saw him. You never saw him once. Like Gurudev used to say, those who fall from sannyas, Gurudev said they never served their Gurudev even for a moment in the transcendental sense. So we should always try to know what are the 3 levels of Vaishnava. So Gurudev would say in the Kanishta Adhikari he has no power of discrimination. And the Uttamadikari also, no power of discrimination. No. They see everyone is serving Krishna except for me. And the Kanishta think, only I'm serving Krishna. So they're a bit like, in that sense, so only discrimination and struggle comes in Madhyamadikari. All discrimination, all struggle comes in Madhyamadikari. Okay? Try to struggle to stay awake somehow. So, Driste svabhav janate vapachascha dose na prakritatvam bhakta janasya pasyat gangambusan na kalu buddh fena panke brahma dravagatam iragachita niradharma. And how should I see an Uttamadhikari? This verse gives that. Like in the Ganga, there may be many bubbles, mud, pollution. Cannot affect the transcendental nature of the Ganga. I remember the first time I took bath in the Ganga. I was there on the bank and I saw something floating in the middle. I was like, no, it couldn't be. Yes, it was. Dead body was there, 4 or 5 crows were there taking a meal. No, cannot affect the Ganga. So even Uttam Bhagavad, because have this material body. No? Also Uttam Bhagavad is 3 different levels of Bhagavad, Uttam Bhagavad, in Vaishnavas Sindhu Bindu. Nirdut Kusai, Murchit Kusai, and Bhagavad Pasad Deha Prap. 3 types of Mahabhagavat. No? Murchit, right? Murchit. Like Sukadeva Goswami, Uttam Kanishta. Sukadeva Goswami. Material body, spiritualized by bhajan. Narad Muni. When he took birth as a son of a dasi, then took initiation from the 4 Kumaras, saw Bhagavan, then voice came, you cannot see me again. This is Murchit Kusai, right? Murchit, right? Still some contamination of sattva gun is there. Material body spiritualized by bhajan. But still, some influence of Maya is there, inconceivable. Then the Nirdut Kusai, like Sukadeva Goswami. Material body spiritualized by bhajan. Like putting iron in fire. No? And then the Parshad, like Rupa and Sanatan. They have no material body, they come from Goloka Vrindavan. We understand like that. So this material body, some defect may be there. Maybe born in low family, maybe lazy, maybe angry, maybe not educated. Some material, some disease may be there. But it cannot stop their seva. It cannot disturb their sarup. So what does it mean perfect? We have sometimes a diseased conception of perfect. Even though it may look like they make mistakes, it may look burn a sabji or... Perfect means they never deviate from Krishna's seva. Everything they do is for Krishna's satisfaction. You see or not see, that is your problem. Anyway, so even Uttam Bhagavat, some defect may be there, but we should not give any importance to it at all. Just like bubbles and pollution in the Ganga cannot affect it, still take bath and you feel I am purified. So we cannot say defect is not there. Some defect may be there according to material vision, but don't give any importance. If you give importance to the so-called defect, you will lose the main thing. But this is very hard to practice, very hard to apply all these things. So we'll hear from Pujapad Sadhu Maharaj. He will speak whatever he likes to. Sri Rupa Goswami Pad Ki Jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. You can take this also. This is my personal. It's my personal. Let's put it on the book.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sit Mr. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, First of all, my unlimited Dandavat Pranams to Lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Nitya Prishta Vishnupad Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shiksha Gurudeva Sam Vishnupada Statra Sata Srimad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, Srimati Krishna Priya Thakurani, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, the author of Shri Upadesamrita, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas, Pujapad Damodar Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. So, we're hearing Shri Upadesamrita these days. We just heard the 5th verse, which is, you could say, central, one of the most essential. But I would like to add something about verse 4, related to verse 2. Utsananishya, what's that? Dadati pratigrinati guyamakyati prichati bhunkte bhojeti chaiva shadvida priti lakshanam. The 6 ways of relationship with Vaishnavas. Dadati pratigrinati, give gifts, accept gifts. Guyamakyati prichati, to open your heart confidentially and to hear their realizations. Bhunkte bhojeti chaiva. So to give prasad and to accept prasad from them. So in verse 2 there's one point. Atyahara prayasam prajalpa niyamagra jana sangha. So jana sangha is association with materialists, bad association. Kusanga also is called. So these 6 types of relationships, when we practice with materialists, then that is called jana sangha, or association with materialists. When you do social association with your neighbors at your work, hello, how are you? How's your family? How's your garden, etc. It's called social association, social relationship. It's nothing bad in that. It's neutral. But when you do according to these 6, then it's called jana sangha. Dadati, to give too many gifts. Oh, I have come from India, I can give you this and that and this and that and this and that. So the person feels, well, that's too much. And he doesn't really want you to give more. But you cannot estimate how much you can give, or the character of the gifts you want to present him with. Then that is called elements of jana sangha, like unnecessarily. You give something too sacred, or you give a too complicated book, a person is not able to, I cannot, this is like Chinese language. Well, give Introduction to Bhakti Yoga or any simple book we have. Well, then the person perceives it adequately, that's nicely. Nadati, pratigrina, yes, accepting gifts from them. Oh, you're so nice. I like you so much. Oh, take this. Oh, you're vegetarian, no problem. I'll give you something non-vegetarian. I'm sorry, I'll give you vegetarian. But he gives too much. If it's grains, then it's really poisonous. Why? Because, like in temples, in Gurudev's temple, for example, when somebody donates, let's say, rice or dal, then those people devotees who receive the gift, cooks, etc., they're asking, who has given? Who has given? Once I was a translator in one business meeting, Krishna Das, Russian Krishna Das. So he was meeting with some Indian gentleman, pious Indian gentleman, who he wanted to make business with. So Gurudev blessed me, okay, you translate. And even I was, dining with them in the restaurant, and I was asking Gurudev, oh, I have to eat that food. Gurudev was mildly, like, not too much. But anyway, so I was involved. So then that person took us to his rice factory and gave 10 kilos of rice as a gift. So I brought it to the kitchen. And the cook was examining me quite long. Who has given? Who is that person? Is he chanting? What type of person is he? Oh, Gurudev said to him that, oh, okay, continue this contact with our devotee businessman, and you're a good person, Gurudev said, you're a good person. Yeah. Well, he was, having Banki Bihari picture in his office, and like pious Indian type. So finally they accepted. They did accept. But if a sinful person, even your friend, so-called, gives you something, especially grains, then that can poison you. You cannot digest. I remember one story from Param Gurudev. One Vaishnava, I don't remember who that was, gave him diksha he had collected. Who that was, Maharaj? I don't remember. Some god brother. So he gave, let's say 30 rupees, whatever amount was, and 1 rupee he kept for himself. Narasimha Maharaj. So 1 rupee he kept for himself. Why are you keeping 1 rupee?
150 rupees, he kept 25.
150 rupees and 25 he kept. That's quite a big amount at that time. 150 rupees, like minimum 15,000 nowadays. So, and then 25 he kept for himself. Why did you keep that for himself? Oh, these are transportation expenses. No, you have to give everything to me and then receive back. So Sri Guru is able to purify that. So I remember how devotees were bringing Gurudev gifts and some completely unnecessarily things someone brought, maybe Sukada or someone like. She used to like to bring many things. So Gurudev was giving back. Take it as Mahaprasad. So like I was young and it was my one of first impressions, and Gurudev was giving back as Mahaprasad. He doesn't need it, but he gives as Mahaprasad. So anything Vaishnavas accept from us, they give back as Mahaprasad, like this. But we, like myself for example, really not on that level. So this pratigrihnati thing, accepting too much, is very, very dangerous. You can be harmed a lot. Your bhakti can be jeopardized because you accept many things, especially grains, from materialists. What to do? I'm present at some function, at some type of party, you know. They know I'm vegetarian, they give me only like drink, some fruit like this. And well, you very, very silent, Vishnu, you offer, and then you eat. But you know, if you eat that food, that is also very poisonous, you know. So many devotees, like practicing devotees, like one disciple of Maharaj, you know. Sometimes he's here, sometimes he disappears, like for 5 years, again he comes back, and all for one reason. I was asking him, like, are you cooking for yourself? No. Whose food are you taking? Mother's food? Is she vegetarian? No. But she makes vegetarian for me. Moscow, Adupa. Yeah, so why are you accepting that? Why are you accepting that? Well, anyway, he was working on something, so I told him it's very dangerous, you know, it may poison you. But he didn't listen and disappeared for 5 years. After that, he recognized, yes, you were right. Now he again disappeared, by the way, anyway. So that's very, very important. This pratigrihnati thing I'm discussing, accepting gifts. So then Goyamakyati Prichati, which is very, very important. So open your heart in confidence. Open your heart in confidence. This is within close association, like eating together. Like that person is your friend from karmi life, from material life. And then all of a sudden you become a devotee. Young devotee is not able to restrict that relationship, or even, if necessary, give up it totally. So a person becomes, victimized by that point, Guyamakyati Prichiti. So you have to listen to their revelations, so-called realizations of life and enjoyment. And some inertia is there, you tell your stories, you know, too much also. So we have to very diligently discriminate what to tell them and how. You cannot tell them about most impressions. Like if it's a good friend, but if atheistically inclined, you know, this is according to verse Maharaj quoted, the 5th verse, the Madhyama Adhikari. So Madhyama Adhikari devotee sees those 4 types of persons. Ishvara tadadineshu balisheshu dvishatsucha. So Ishvara means the Lord, tadadineshu means his devotees, balisheshu means innocent ones, and dvishatsu means envious. So Kanishta makes that mistake. He's not able to discriminate. Balisheshu and Dvishatsu means innocent and envious. So we have to try to see what's the intention of our close friend. Is he belonging to this Balisheshu? Balisha means innocent category or envious. So you speak to him, come on, you tell me about your blue god Krishna. That's just envious. Okay, then how are you? How's life? Weather is fine, like this. Have a good day. That's it. But if, Krishna, interesting. I've read also something, I saw something on TV, India, interesting. Then Balisha, and innocent. Then you can say, but don't say too much, because it's like a camphor. If you start revealing your realization of bhajan and namami nandananda namakadakarisha sikamam, the new one, not even a devotee, that's very, very, very dangerous. Like a camphor can evaporate very easily. So we have to be mindful about those things. Then Guyam Akyati Prichati means listening to their revelations. Well, I remember one classical story from my life. I was translating for many sannyasis in Russia and things, and Maharaj is flying on the plane, some other Maharaj, not the one you can see, but yes, he was the Pope. He was flying on the plane, and translator, Parjanya, on train, no problem, economy, so okay. So Maharaj is flying one day later, and I go on train one day earlier. Somebody else translates for last class in the previous city, so it takes one day to go. So they told me there's one special in second class, Russian second class, which we know very well. There's a special compartment option, number 37. Number 37, if you pay something extra or you press some magic button, then you get that 37 seat. Oh, very good, 37, but not 4 in a compartment, but 2. So they gave me 37, but who is 38? God knows, I didn't know. But I was a complete drunk, like a complete drunk. And that was before that rule. On Russian trains, alcohol was prohibited. Like 10 years ago, they prohibited alcohol altogether. On a Russian train, national disaster was started being stopped, let's say. So I was there, and the guy came, and I understood that he's complete chronic, as we say. So he started to tell me about his life. He started to tell me about his life. Slightly, but the more so. So he started telling me about his life and what he was doing, and I was periodically escaping and coming back. I have to come back because of my things, but I cannot leave my luggage unattended and this and that. So coming out, chanting, doing something, oh my Lord, help me, oh my Lord, help me. And coming back, and he's again telling me, and listen, and then happened what, and then again something happened, and a violation of all 4 regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, nothing to do with Bhakti Yoga. I'd say, oh, poor Parjanya translator, what's going on? Good for Maharaj, he's flying 3 hours and he's there, but 30 hours with this guy, overnight. And in the evening, his friends came. His friends, he was not alone, his friends were on the train also. And the 3-4 guys are sitting there. And you're upstairs, you're on the upper berth. Can I take your berth and sleep, try to sleep? Okay, go. And they're sitting down, and I'm trying to sleep. Finally I fell asleep somehow or other for a couple of hours, and then I understood. What's that? Akyati Prichati. Listening to their revelations. So if you practice that with jhana, with the mundane people, then it becomes jhana sangha. So that was certainly unintended, but it harmed me a lot, really, harmed me, because he was telling me, and when we hear something, with vijnana, it's very, very dangerous and harmful. So Bhunkte Bhoja Iti Chiva, we discussed a little bit, so give prasadam to them, very good, if they accept.
Take some of his prasadam?
No. Wait, no way. No. It was all alcohol and non-veg, so So anyway, yes, funny katha today. So then Bhunkte Bhoja Tichvas. Yes, Maharaj will tell you the story later about Madhuvrat. Madhuvrat. Anyway, so this not our subject matter. So Bhunkte Bhoja Tichvas. So we can feed them prasadam, but not too much. When they start, oh, what are the ingredients? Oh, that's not to my taste. Oh, this is too much Indian. Oh, this, okay, stop. Give some, if they're not well inclined, give some apple, Apple. But if they're envious, then they will see, oh, everything you give is like cursed, so I'm not, or Satan, products of idol worship, as Christians say. So you have to be mindful, if they're very innocent, then give, and they will enhance their piety balance, sukriti, gyata, agyata, and certainly don't take their food, which can be detrimental. So we have to be experiencing these 4 types of relationships with devotees. Then it will be Bhakta Sangha, not Jana Sangha. So Shri Upadesamrita ki jai. So Indubhushan Prabhu. Savitri Didi wants to speak, okay, please. Please put this there. And regulate the... Stop. I take this.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. First of all, I would like to offer my Koti Koti Dandavats to my beloved Gurudev, Om Nitira Pravishta Om Jishad Ashtota Shima Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Makshiksha Gurudev Pujapat Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, Srimati Krishna Priyaditi Thakurani, and the sannyasis headed by